Okay, welcome to Into the Channel, episode 1. Just in time for the Women's Champions League group stage. Hello. If you're here to celebrate the Women's Champions League with us, we are thrilled to have you. And if you're asking yourself, where do I know these two jokers from? Well, that would probably be the Tasty Bets pod. If you did take the hop, skip, and the jump into the channel with us, welcome aboard. I am your host, Dino DeCespedes. And for the very first time, because this is the very first episode, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Grant Engel. What is that, man?
Buddy, I am extremely psyched to launch this new program with you. We've been kicking around the idea, pun absolutely intended, of a football-only show for a while, and I'm doubly psyched that the first run of shows come just in time before the Women's Champions League, where we get to see the elite players in the world. I think there's a really interesting mix of 16 clubs, and I think we're going to have some incredible clashes over the course of the tournament. But before we get into that, I'm going to need you to explain to me, and possibly a large percentage of the audience, in the words of David Byrne, how did we get here?
Nicely done. So I was texting with you earlier this week. I went on an absolute deep dive to try to figure out just exactly how we get to 16. So I'm going to take it from the top here. 70 teams in the mix, representing 47 different European countries. So we'll start there, which includes the big four: England, Germany, France, Spain. Each of those leagues get their champion straight into the group stage. This year, that was Barcelona, Chelsea, Lyon, and Bayern. Now, those 47 national leagues scale all the way down to countries like Moldova, North Macedonia, the Faroe Islands, and Malta. So, I mean, this really kind of runs the gamut. I think that's what makes the tournament so beautiful, is like there's a lot of representation top to bottom. So we've got the 4 automatic bids out of the 70, which leaves 66 teams. Of the 66, 44 enter through what's called the Champions Path, or how I like to refer to it, the Champions Path.
Yes, let's go.
41 of the 44 teams enter in round 1. 3 of the 44 enter in round 2. So this round is where the champions of the smaller leagues enter, and 11 of these 41 will win 2 matches to reach the round of 24. Now, the round of 24 is important because those 24 teams get whittled down to the 12 group stage teams that join the 4 champions. So the round of 24, you're 1 game away from group stage.
Okay, cracking a beer break. This is good. All right, I'm following you so far. I'd imagine everybody else is as well.
Let's go. So we know that round of 24 is where we want to get to. 11 of the 41 will win 2 matches to get to that round of 24, which means 3 teams enter the Champions Path, which I mentioned earlier, in round 2, and they go straight to the round of 24. This year, that was Slavia Prague, Rosengard from Sweden, and Roma, who were the champions of Italy. In Serie A, Femenil. Nailed it. They go straight to the 24. In addition to the Champions Path, we have the League Path, where the remaining 22 teams compete. Now, the League Path features teams that did not win their league, but due to the strength of their leagues and the whole coefficient, they get a chance to compete. In the WSL, this year that was Arsenal, Manchester United. France was represented by PSG and Paris FC. Spain had Real Madrid and Levante. And Germany had Wolfsburg and Eintracht Frankfurt, in addition to Bayern Munich, right? So
Excellent.
That's the League Path. The League Path's first round brings in 16 teams who need to win twice to reach the round of 24. Arsenal got bounced in this round. The League Path, I'll say this, the League Path is very tough because in the Champions Path, you have a lot of small countries with the number 1 team in a small league in a small country, right? But the League Path has like some of these big dogs. The second place finisher across pretty much all the major leagues in Europe. And for Spain, France, Germany, and England, thank you. You got the second and third place teams. So you do not want to be stuck in the League Path. I think every year we see a lot of really good teams get bounced there. Hopefully that's a pretty good primer. If we think about how the 16 got into the tournament, St. Polten from Austria, Benfica from Portugal, Ajax from the Netherlands, and SK Braun from Norway, they entered through the Champions Path round 1. They were one of those 41 teams. They won their 2 matches. They won their round of 24 match. They're in the group stage. The League Path round 1, Paris FC and Eintracht Frankfurt, they won their 2 matches, entering that League Path, like that kind of more dangerous road. And just to kind of, put some names on it, Paris FC, they had to beat Arsenal and Wolfsburg, to get into the group stage. So no joke there. Now, Champions Path round 2, Slavia Prague, Rosengard, and Roma only had to win one game, round of 24, to then get to the group stage. And they all got to play pretty lowly teams that essentially had survived the Champions Path round 1. So 3 of those 41 teams. And then that leaves the League Path round 2, where pretty much the second place teams had to win one match to get in to the group stage. And that's where PSG beat Manchester United, Real Madrid beat Valderranga, and BK Häcken beat Twente from the Dutch league. So second place team in France, second place team in Spain, second place team in Sweden. They come in League Path round 2. You want to come in round 2. You only got to win one match from there, and then you're in the group stage. So hopefully that cleared the air a little bit. I know that was a lot to cover. Try to kind of set out a clear path of how we go from these 70 teams to the 16 that we're looking at right now.
That's great, man. I think that covered it. I think it really shows that some of the teams that had to navigate their way here fucking battle tested, man. I think we'll talk a lot about Perry FC and our Group D preview video. I just can't wrap my head around. You mean Manchester United lost an important game in a European competition? That's weird. I don't know.
I think it was a full moon that day. Not sure. I'll go back and check.
No disrespect to the women on Manchester United. My beef is with the boys on the other side, but I feel more informed. I think that about covers it, and I appreciate the explanation. So I am ready to talk about the other groups and games whenever you are, my good man.
Let's do it. I'm ready.